Alrighty, we are here on day 4. So how is everybody doing? I took a little time to adjust my camera because I'm going to be on the floor today demonstrating the 2 exercises that are in your challenge for today. So again, we're on day 4. So today is all about a muscle called your transverse abdominals. I'm guessing a lot of you probably haven't even heard about it. I know I hadn't until I got really into fitness. It wasn't even covered necessarily, believe it or not, in a lot of the pre and postnatal stuff I had done, which blows me away knowing what I know now. So I've been hearing a lot of questions and seeing all your comments. So thank you guys so much for being engaged in this challenge. I'm getting stuff emailed to me. I love it. I love it. This is so good. And going back to what happened on day 1, which if you remember was your assessment, today is going to be really helpful for a lot of you, especially if you noticed a squishy part around your belly button, or you noticed that when you did the cough test that your pelvic floor felt like it was pushing down or that you were pressing down. So this is all geared towards that. So if any questions pop up, let me know. And I do want to make a note for the C-section mamas in here, especially if it was a recent C-section. I'm not sure if that applies to anyone here, but this is that muscle that your incision went right through. Okay, so if this is a fresh scar, a new scar, definitely take this area with a little more precaution if their scar's not fully healed. And I would say if it's not fully healed, then just learn this and save it for the back burner because we are moving the skin around that. So it could just be a little bit uncomfortable. And if your scar's healed, you should have no problem. You may notice some scar tissue, but let's just get to work. Okay. So if you read the resource, which it looks like a lot of you are getting it, if you're having trouble and you're like, what resources is she talking about? Let me know. They're all coming to you hopefully via an email when you sign up for the challenge. So if you're not getting them, let me know. But your transverse abdominals, I had to choose my position carefully. Think of it like a corset muscle. They attach on either side of your spine and it comes around like this. And it kind of works together with your pelvic floor and it works together with your diaphragm. So all these muscles, are kind of interconnected at some point. So this is how they all work together. And your TVA is supposed to contract, which means get smaller on the exhale. When you think about it, that makes sense because it wouldn't contract if there's a lot of pressure down here, right? It's the contraction of these muscles that go around literally like a corset. Imagine like a little lace-up corset that are pushing the air up and out. So remember, our inhale does what? The air comes in and goes down. This is the area that expands. And we talked yesterday about pelvic floor, how this starts it lifts it starts to press up, and then these muscles come in and squeeze, and it goes up. So the problem that we face a lot of times is that this muscle got super stretched out while we were pregnant, and it kind of loses its ability to do its job. So what happens is your brain likes to be efficient and it recruits other muscles to do the job, like whether they're hip muscles or back muscles, neck and shoulder muscles, who knows? Your body will find muscles to do the job for it, and then we have to retrain it. It's a retraining process. This is going to take time. It is practice. Bringing those muscles back online first, which you'll know they're not online if when you did that belly button test, if there's nothing drawing in on the bottom. I know it might be hard to tell at first, but if you're not able to contract down here, that's your TVA. So we're going to talk a couple troubleshooting areas with that too real quick. But if it's not back online, there's no abdominal exercise you can do that'll strengthen a muscle that's not responding. So we have to get it back online. And so I'm going to try to move this down just a touch so you can see. I'm going to demo the 2 exercises. And we're going to start here, and then we'll go to the troubleshooting. So the first one says on all fours, you want to tuck. You're going to exhale and pull this up. You want to think about all of this scooping up as you exhale air out. And then you're going to inhale, the air fills, and then exhale, it comes up. So this is kind of like a cat-cow if you've done yoga and you're familiar with that. So you really want to be pairing it with your breath. The inhale is everything relaxing. I'm not going to ask you to fully arch like a traditional cat-cow. You can if you want to and you're familiar with that. But I really want to focus on the exhale where you feel a lift from the pelvic floor and then the close as all of this. It's almost like it's like a shrink wrap. Like, when you do like those vacuum, like sucker bags, like those, where you pack all the comforters in and then you just hook the vacuum and it goes, that's kind of what you want to go for here. So it's like everything just comes all in with your exhale. And if you're like, things aren't coming in, here's a quick tip. And this is another one that you can go back to that assessment and try. exhale very, very strongly. Does that make sense? Instead of just, we like to inhale gently. And so the natural response to that is let's exhale gently too, which works for a lot of people. The slow helps with concentration. We can visualize it at a nice, manageable pace. But sometimes our bodies need that force to make it work. So what it would look like is you're here and make it come from your mouth. That's okay. Make noise. No one on this end can laugh at you, okay? But go ahead and practice that. See if that forceful exhale, even with that belly button test, see if you can relax, let it go, and pull it in that way if that doesn't get it going. I have more tricks up my sleeve if that doesn't work, but by and large, that can help. And for those of you who are really, really struggling with this inhale part, because like we've said, it takes a good inhale to get a good exhale. It takes a good exhale to get a good inhale, and around we go. If you're really, really struggling with the inhale because you're so just locked up, your muscles have memory, that spine doesn't want to move, I get it. I was there. Then start with the exhale. Try focusing on the exhale as making this your powerhouse move that you are just crushing, you're going to get. Because then once all the air is out, it's got to come back in. And once it's all out, maybe hold it out for a second, hold those muscles nice and tight, and then start your inhale to fill down. It might go a little bit easier if your brain is just not wrapping around the inhale. Like this is just not working. We're all wired a little bit differently. We've all got different layers to what's going on. So if the inhale is just still not coming and you've tried for the last 3 days, start with this exhale. Bring it all in. And I love the all fours position because I feel like you get a lot of body movement. Plus that is nice because you have to work against gravity. So that you have to do it. Sometimes when you put your muscles in like a do or die situation, not that it's a do or die situation, but to your muscles like, oh, we got to commit. It'll work. The second part of the exercise today is on your back, and I didn't write down the details, so as far as reps and everything, but this is the position. Can you even see? So my knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, you've got your hands on your side, and it's the same type of deal. You're going to keep your neck and shoulders on the ground. I don't want you to crunch up yet. The reason we don't want to crunch up yet, if that muscle's not activated, what happens is you'll see a doming or you'll see a pooching. It'll feel like it's puffing out. And we don't want that. That's a dysfunction. That's our muscle's last ditch attempt at something, and that's not how we want it to go. So when you're on your back, you want to imagine, I think what I put in the sheet, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, if you have it in front of you, is go back to when you had baby in your belly, right? You can imagine that baby is in your belly, and on your inhale, there's just warm, happy goodness swimming all around him, and on the exhale, you're just going to give baby a nice, gentle hug. So the hug comes from all directions. And I'll show you seated, but you can try it laying down. Most people have an easier time laying down, but for demonstration purposes, it's easier sitting up. So you have that inhale, and then imagine that exhale where you're just wanting to hug baby. It's almost gonna feel like your ribs are coming down, which is a good thing. We want our ribs going out, we want our ribs coming down. I didn't say shoulders. Ribs are gonna close. Everything is hugging in, coming here. It's that tightening of that corset again, okay? So we got the corset, you got baby. Tomorrow we're going to put all of this together with how it would work in regular life. So we did the troubleshooting. Yes, we did. Troubleshooting was definitely what I wanted to hit on. We've talked a little about if the inhale's not working. Am I missing anything? Is anyone on here that has any questions? So yeah, tomorrow we're going to be talking about things like picking up baby and holding the car seat. Just nursing postures and all of those things, how they all go together. And we'll demonstrate some of the moves that are in your bonus for doing this challenge with me, the 5-day free trial of the first 6. That's my postpartum program for moms, where we take you through a step-by-step, gradual rebuilding of your core. It's a really fun program. I wish it's what I had when I was doing this, but it's what I've learned now, and it's all the stuff I wish I had. But there are exercises I still do to maintain my pelvic floor and my core. So that's where we're headed. Keep the questions coming. I've answered some individually, but I'm definitely bringing them back to the group too. So as far as, if something is still just not quite clicking, I hear you. I know it feels frustrating, but I promise just keep trying it. I've put some tips out there like face the mirror, turn the camera around so you see you. Those are good ways, and just take it slow or reverse it altogether. Start with the exhale if that is something that might work for you. That being said, this just coming to me. No, we're going to save it for tomorrow. I wrote it for tomorrow. It's going to stay for tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be awesome. It's like the grand finale where we put it all together. We're going to talk, like I said, talk about picking up babies, putting it all together, little movements you can do that help put all these muscle coordinations together, make it less overwhelming, and give you a chance to practice some of the programs. So thank you guys for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.